Phishing feels like this super modern threat, right? But honestly, its roots go way, way back, almost to the very beginning of the public internet. We're talking mid-90s AOL. Hackers were creating these little fake programs that looked just like the real deal, asking people to verify their account by typing in their password. It was a simple trick, but you know what? It worked. And that exact same fundamental deception is still one of the biggest and most dangerous threats we all face online today. You've definitely seen these scams, but do you really know how they work, how incredibly advanced they become, and how you can build a truly solid defense? Okay, let's dive into all of it. So let's just start with a number that should really grab your attention: 71%. A recent report from Proofpoint found that a pretty staggering 71% of organizations, that's nearly 3 out of 4, had a successful phishing attack hit them just in the last year. So yeah, this isn't some rare thing. It's a constant global assault happening every single day. And the stakes? They are unbelievably high. Think back to 2014. Attackers sent some phishing emails that looked like they were from Apple to a few top execs at Sony Pictures. A couple of clicks on a bad link by people who didn't know any better, and the entire company was brought to its knees. We're talking over 100 terabytes of data gone, unreleased movies leaked, and damages that topped $100 million, all from one simple email. And that's the scary reality of phishing today. The same exact tactics they used to take down a massive company like Sony are now automated and scaled to target you, me, and millions of other people every single day. Their goal? It's simple. Drain your bank account, steal your identity, and just generally cause chaos in your life. So what happens when you're the one they're aiming for? Well, that's exactly why we're here. In this explainer, we're going to break down every single piece of this threat. We'll look at how it actually works, the many different disguises it wears, and the concrete steps you can take to make yourself a hard target. By the time we're done, you'll have everything you need to spot these scams and lock down your digital life.
So, how does one of these attacks actually play out? From the outside, it might look pretty complicated, but almost every single phishing attack follows a really predictable 4-stage process. And you know what? Understanding that framework is the first, most crucial step to beating it. Okay, so let's get a really simple definition on the table. Phishing is basically a con game, a form of social engineering where attackers trick you into just handing over your sensitive info. The name itself is perfect, isn't it? They are literally phishing for your data, and they use a convincing message as the lure to get you to bite. And this right here, this is the secret sauce. This is what you absolutely have to understand about phishing. It isn't about some genius hacker breaking through firewalls with brilliant code. Nope, it's about hacking the human mind. It exploits our most basic instincts, our trust in brands we recognize, our fear of getting locked out of our accounts, our curiosity, and our tendency to act fast when we think there's a problem. So, every single successful attack follows these 4 stages. Let's walk through them one by one. And to make it real, let's use an example I am sure you've seen in your own messages: a fake text from a package delivery service.
Okay, stage 1, the bait. This is the fake message itself. It's carefully designed to look exactly like a real text from USPS or FedEx. It's got the logo, the right colors, maybe even a made-up tracking number. The whole point is to make you just accept it as real without even thinking about it. I mean, you're expecting a package, right? So it seems totally plausible.
Then comes stage 2, the hook. This is the psychological part, the emotional trigger. The message hits you with a problem that needs you to act right now. Your package is on hold because of a bad address. Update your info now to avoid it being returned. See? That urgency is designed to make you panic just a little and turn off your critical thinking. You don't want your stuff sent back, so you act without thinking. And if you take the bait and you feel that hook, you've just entered stage 3, the capture. You tap the link to update your address, and it takes you to a fake website, a perfect pixel-for-pixel copy of the real USPS site. It looks right, it feels right, but you're actually on a web page controlled by the attacker.
And finally, stage 4, the exploit. You type in your name, your address, and hey, maybe they ask for a tiny redelivery fee, so you put in your credit card info. The second you hit submit, all of that data goes straight to the scammer. And just like that, they have your personal details and your credit card number to either use themselves or sell on the dark web. That's the whole playbook, from beginning to end.
So that 4-step process is the engine of the attack, but how it gets delivered to you can change a lot. Phishing has grown way beyond just simple emails. It now comes at us in a ton of different forms, through all kinds of channels. Let's take a look at the different techniques you really need to have on your radar. First off, let's talk about the 2 main flavors of email phishing. You've got bulk phishing, which is that classic spray and pray method.
It's a generic email like, "Your mailbox is almost full," that gets blasted out to millions of people, just hoping that a few will bite. But then there's spear phishing, and this is way more dangerous. It's a targeted attack where the scammer has done their homework on you. They use your name, your job, maybe even your company's name to make the message feel incredibly personal and legitimate.
Now, a super specialized version of spear phishing is called whaling. And just like the name says, it goes after the big fish in a company. The CEO, the CFO, the big bosses. These attacks are crafted with extreme care, maybe pretending to be a lawyer or a board member, all with one goal: tricking that executive into wiring a huge amount of money to the scammers.
All right, let's move past email now. Smishing is just phishing that comes through an SMS text message, just like that package delivery scam we talked about. And vishing, that's voice phishing. It happens over the phone. This is when a scammer calls you up pretending to be from tech support or your bank's fraud team or even the IRS, trying to trick you into giving up info or downloading some malware. And these guys just keep getting more clever. With clone phishing, an attacker takes a real email you actually got before, like a shipping confirmation, and just resends you an updated version where they've swapped the real link for a fake one. Farming is even sneakier. It's a technical attack that messes with the internet's address book, basically. It can send you to a fake website, like a clone of your bank site, even if you type the address in perfectly. And then there's angler phishing, where scammers set up fake customer service accounts on social media. They just wait for you to complain about a brand, then they jump in offering help to lure you into a private chat where they can steal your password.
Okay, so with all these different ways they can come at you, from cloned emails to fake social media accounts, how in the world do you defend yourself? Well, the good news is, no matter how slick the attack is, they almost always leave behind little clues. So it's time we turn you into a human phishing detector. Let's see how you can build up that defense.
You know, what's funny about this is how simple these red flags are, but how easily we can miss them when we're in a rush. That urgent or threatening language, that's a huge giveaway. Generic greetings like, "Dear valued customer," also suspicious. Your bank knows your name. And look, even though AI is helping scammers get better, you still see a lot of sloppy spelling and weird grammar. But honestly, the single most powerful thing you can do is to just hover your mouse over any link. Just hover, don't click, and you can see the real web address it's trying to send you to. A lot of people think they just need to check the from address, but that's a trap. It is incredibly easy for scammers to fake or spoof a sender's email address to make it look legit. So while you should definitely look, you have to look very closely for tiny misspellings. It's a technique called typo squatting. You know, like using an R and an N right next to each other to look like an M in Microsoft.com. That tiny, tiny detail is the entire scam. Okay, so this is it, the big one. If you only take one single thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this rule. Do not click links in emails or texts that you are not expecting. Period. End of story. Building that one habit will protect you from the vast majority of these attacks. The safe way to handle this is so simple, and it works every time. If you get an email from your bank saying there's an issue, don't click anything in the email. Just open a new browser window and manually type in your bank's official website address. Log in there. If the alert is real, it'll be waiting for you inside your secure account. This one habit completely shuts down the attack. Being able to spot a phishing attempt after it hits your inbox is a great reactive skill, but the absolute best defense is a proactive one. So let's talk about building your digital shield, the essential layers you can put in place right now that'll make you a much, much harder target to hit. These are pretty much the 4 pillars of good digital security today. A password manager helps you create unique, strong passwords for every single site, so if one gets stolen, the damage is contained. Keeping your software updated patches the security holes that attackers love to exploit. And honestly, your spam filter is probably already catching tons of these things. But the real game changer here, the one I really want to zoom in on, is number 1. This is multi-factor authentication, or MFA. What it means is that even if a scammer manages to trick you and steal your password, they still can't get into your account. Why? Because they don't have that crucial second piece of the puzzle, like a one-time code from an app on your phone. This is so brilliant because it's your safety net. MFA can literally stop a phishing attack from succeeding, even after you've already made a mistake and given up your password. So let me just ask you this, straight up. Think about your main email account. That's the key to your entire digital kingdom, right? If a hacker gets that, they can reset all your other passwords. So, is that one single, all-important account protected with MFA right now? If the answer is no, or you're not sure, please make that the one thing you do right after you finish this explainer. Look, even with the best defenses, mistakes can happen to anyone. It's so important to know exactly what to do in that moment. So let's quickly run through an emergency action plan, and then let's look ahead at how these threats are about to get even crazier.
If you have that sinking feeling and realize you've been phished, you have to move fast. First, immediately go and change the password for that account. And just as important, change it on any other site where you might have used the same password. If you gave up any bank info, call your bank or credit card company immediately and report the fraud. After that, run a full malware scan on your computer, just in case. And finally, report the attack.
And reporting it is a bigger deal than you might think. It feeds valuable data to security companies and to law enforcement that helps them take these scammers down. For emails, you can just forward them to the anti-phishing working group. And for those scammy text messages, it's even easier. Just forward the message to the number 7726, which, if you look at your keypad, spells out spam.
Now, looking to the future, the biggest change coming our way is the use of artificial intelligence by scammers. And honestly, this is going to make the phishing attempts we see today look like child's play. They're about to get so much harder to spot.
AI is going to completely get rid of those spelling and grammar mistakes we just learned to look for. But it's so much more than that. It's going to allow for hyper-personalization on a massive scale. Imagine an AI scanning your public profiles, finding your boss's name in the project you're working on, and then creating a perfect, flawless email about that exact project. And for phishing, AI voice clones can already copy a person's voice from just a few seconds of audio. A fake emergency call from a family member will sound completely real. But even with all this crazy new tech, the core principle doesn't change one bit. It is still all about tricking you into trusting them.
And that really brings us to the most important point of this entire conversation. As the attackers use AI to get around our technical defenses, our spam filters and firewalls, our last line of defense, our best defense, is going to be our own awareness and our healthy sense of skepticism. Technology is a huge help, but that final decision to click, to trust, to act, that power is always going to be yours. All right, let's do a quick recap of the absolute essentials. Number 1, phishing is a mind game, not a technical hack. It preys on your emotions. 2, the golden rule, always verify. Never click links in unexpected messages. Go to the source yourself. 3, multi-factor authentication is your absolute best friend. Go turn it on everywhere. And 4, report these scams. It helps protect everyone.
So to wrap this all up, I've got a question for you. What is the most convincing, the most clever, or just the sneakiest phishing message you've ever seen yourself? Drop your story in the comments below. Seriously, sharing those experiences is one of the best ways we can all learn from each other and stay a step ahead of these guys.
And hey, if you got value out of this explainer, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives just like this one. And maybe think about sharing this with someone you care about, a friend, a parent, a coworker. You'd be surprised how much a little bit of this knowledge can help keep someone safe online. Thanks so much for watching.